The conservative part of America has driven the agenda both in the media and in conversations and certainly in elections, even though they are not mathematically the majority. So what is wrong with this picture? What I saw in the Democratic Party was the checks that I wrote were paying for caviar and canapes. They were paying for national events that did not have impact. And when I met NLC, I saw an answer, maybe the answer. They were cheap. They were effective. They aimed at the next generation of leadership. They had the long view. And they weren't focused so much, as the councilman said, as I said to him earlier, weren't so much focused on elections and votes, but hearts and minds. Hearts and minds. Because building a base that lasts more than just cycle to cycle, building progressive beliefs that matter in this state and in this nation, and in the reality-free zone that I live in called Washington, D.C., takes a longer view, where people believe deeply that progressive points matter, where people believe deeply that it's not just the votes, it's the passion and the commitment of the elected officials at the state and the national and the city and the county and the town level that are really what it's all about. So NLC is about recruiting and promoting passion for progressive ideals. They do it, as you heard, very cheaply, $5,000 or so per city per year. We're in 5 cities as of last year, a few years under our belt, launching 6 new cities, of which I'm proud to say Atlanta is the shining star of our cities. I think it's a fantastic example of the kind of city where NLC can make a difference, because in Washington, Boston, New York, San Francisco, and LA, it's kind of easy. Those are sort of blue cities, right? A lot of progressive passion there, but let's branch out to Chicago, to Atlanta, to Missoula, Montana, to Sacramento, California, to Dallas, Texas. That's our next wave of cities, and that's why I'm here to see you guys tonight to talk about the next wave. We're cheap, we're effective, we're not just about politicians and elections, we're about political entrepreneurship. Our graduates leave this 7-weekend, 5-month mini MBA in political entrepreneurship taught by experts, and they go and work for NGOs. They go work for not-for-profits that care about abortion rights, that work for clean water, that work for positions or passions that are outside the political sphere. But they also work on campaigns and they run for public office. The end game, to conclude, the end game is to have a longer view. The end game is to have places in cities like Atlanta and in my hometown of Washington, D.C., where these progressive positions that we all care about are discussed, are implemented over a long period of time. And as importantly, the graduates of NLC, just like the Heritage Foundation, the American Enterprise Institute, the Cato Institute in Washington, D.C., for the conservative side, these graduates form a fabric, they form a Rolodex, they form a set of relationships that matter in their lives and their careers, not just from 23 to 26, but from 26 to 66.